Hi, I'm so glad you're here. Today, I want to remind you that you are a powerful manifester. You can manifest anything you want, and you do it every day. But I want to focus today's video on fear. Fear, I believe, for myself, was the biggest obstacle of me manifesting. So, when you think about, or when I think about money, actually, when I used to think about money, I had a lot of anxiety around it. I didn't know if I deserved it. I didn't know if it would ever come to me. I had a lot of issues around it. And it was based on a lot of childhood training and things I heard and saw. And anyway, there was a lot of fear and anxiety whenever I would consider having all the money I ever need. And if you're one of those people who has similar things happen, you're in the right place today, because I'm going to show you how I faced my fear so that you'll know how to do it. And it does take a little practice like everything else, but here it is. When I would feel fear, actually, let me just tell you a little story. I had a time in my life a long time ago when I was in a difficult spot. And there were many, many things about my life that I didn't like. And I couldn't seem to manifest the things that I actually wanted to occur. I knew it was possible. I saw other people do it, but it just wasn't happening when I, would attempt. But one day I heard in my head, Sharon, if you want everything you want to come to you, let everything go. And back then, it was pretty dramatic. I actually felt amazing the minute I thought about letting everything go. And I went to the people in my life and told them that I was letting everything go. And I just proceeded to sell everything I owned. I left the lease where I was. I talked to the landlord, so they were okay with it. And I packed my car, and I had no idea what would happen next. It was not something everybody would do. But for me, it was something I felt I had to do. So the process, though, was a little crazy because, like, a half an hour to an hour after I made that decision, and I was feeling elated because I could feel how good it would feel to let everything go, I felt the most overwhelming fear come over me. I can't even describe it. It was like a full body fear, and there was nothing going on around me to cause that fear. But what I did was I decided that I am not going to give that fear a story. I am going to look at that fear as if it's just energy. And I felt it all over me. And then I focused in on it as if I was watching it from above myself. And as I did that, I felt it. I felt it start to move. It sort of moved from my feet all the way up my body and out through the top of my head. And as I watched it move like that, it was slow and steady, and I just used my breath. And every time I took a breath, it moved some more. And it just moved up and all the way out the top of my head. I have worked with many people with this process since then, and everybody's energy will move differently. Just a heads up, as you're trying this, it may not move from your feet to your head. It may move from your stomach out your knees. Like, you never know. But for you, it'll be your own specific energy. But I didn't give it a story. I didn't say, oh my gosh, what's going on around me that's making me afraid? I didn't think, oh, there must be something really terrible about my decision that I made. I just watched that fear like it was a ball of energy. And so I did that the first night after I made that decision, I did that. And then the next day I felt that wave of fear again. And I didn't give it a story. I just watched it. And I watched it move up and out through the top of my head. And for 3 days straight, this happened where I sensed the fear. I just stopped what I was doing. I watched it move through me and out of me. And by the time that third day happened, it was in the afternoon. And it's sort of, the fear waves sort of got closer and closer together. So maybe it was like a few hours the first time, and then it got closer. Maybe it was every hour and then every half hour. And by the time I let go of that fear for the last time, it was happening almost every 30 seconds. But I wasn't caving. I was just going, oh, there it is again. And I just watched it, used my breath. And the last time I breathed it out of me, it didn't come back. And I had the most wonderful sense of freedom and relief, and everything flowed to me. I needed an office. A friend of mine told me she had an office space that she would rent me for practically nothing. I needed a place to stay. Some people that I knew said, come stay at our house. Our third floor is like totally empty and don't pay us rent. Like, the school that I had wanted to go to back then was a lot of money. And I had another friend say, how much is it? And I told that person, and she said, oh, I'll pay that for you. Like, the things that showed up for me were unbelievable. And it is a big experience to go through. And not everybody is going to have that big decision to just let everything go. But fear is fear. And when your fear comes up, if you just watch it as if it's a ball of energy, don't give it a name, don't give it an idea, don't give it a story. Just use your breath, go inside, and watch it move through your body. It will move, it will leave. I have had a client a long time ago who had a big fear. And, it's a justifiable fear from the past. It wasn't happening in this moment, but they had a hard time with it because once they felt it, they choked on it. She even said it was choking. It was in her throat, and she was choking it in. And until you can just keep breathing it, let go, and let it move, it gets to stay in your system, and it gets to be triggered by this, that, or the other thing. So I'm hoping, in fact, I'm clearly intending that this information is helping you today. Obviously, this ability to let go of fear takes practice, just like everything else. And if you have a fear come up when you're working on manifesting something, go inside. That's where everything exists. Go inside, find it, and let it move. Breathe it out of you. Just let it move. And as you do that, things will get clearer and easier, and more things that you've always wanted will manifest in your life. So I'm really glad you stayed and watched this video. And I do think that it all takes a lot of practice. So, watch the video again if you need like some details, or reach out to me if you need to. But I'm glad you watched it. I'm intending that you get some clear information that helps you move forward in your life, because I believe that every one of us deserves to live the life that we've always dreamed of. It helps us in our own personal life, but I believe that it expands out to everyone you know, everywhere in the world. It affects everyone every time someone starts to live the life of their dreams. So until next time, have a great day.